Good morning. Hello, America. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Sarah Wellstead. This is my campaign platform. You'd think as many times as I've said that now, it wouldn't be an issue. It would just flow out of my mouth. But it tells you that I am still nervous about all of this. It's a very scary endeavor. So, as promised, today is going to be on abortion. Wow, controversial topic, I know. Even for myself, I have friends that are pro-choice. I have friends that are pro-life. I myself kind of fall in the middle of it. I believe personally that abortions are one of the necessary evils of this world. I hate using that phrase because you know, it, anything that seems like a necessary evil would be something you really want to eliminate. But there is a purpose for an abortion. It's not a subject to be taken lightly. Being a mother of two kids, and being at the time I had my children, technically a single mother. I mean, I wasn't married. I wasn't with either of their fathers. My children have two separate dads. So that is something that did, through my pregnancies, come across my table, and it was just like it wasn't even a thought or consideration. Because the way I feel is abortion it's not birth control. That's the big thing. It's not birth control. There are so many other safer options for birth control than an abortion. An abortion should be literally medically necessary. Cases of incest rape, because somebody who deals with PTSD, I can only imagine if somebody's PTSD is because of a rape situation, the emotional turmoil and everything that's going to go on in that person's life, to have to. And I'm not saying that the woman is going to relive this every time they look at their child, but that is a possibility, a real possibility. So to expect somebody to do that is just ridiculous. That's why I said medically necessary. And again, I'm not saying a case of like you get halfway through, find out your child's going to have Down syndrome, or some other non-life-threatening malformation. And again, that one's kind of close to my heart too, because my daughter was born with what's called Pierre-Robin syndrome. And I'm not going to get into the details of all of that, but it's something that was actually noticeable in her ultrasound at 7 months. I don't think they did late-term abortions when I was pregnant with her, but again, it wasn't even an option. But if it would have been caught by her doctors, I'm sure that would have come up in this day and age. And again, no, that's not a reason for an abortion. Again, it is a medical necessity. That's why I said it is a necessary evil. There's a reason for it. I don't like to get into religion, but I believe, that our higher being, that our God, whoever, everything exists to fall into the category of the realm of, there's a purpose for everything on this earth, no matter what it is. There is a purpose for it. We just have to figure out if it is for good or evil. And yeah. So yes, abortions are a necessary evil. That's where I feel they fall in. But again, they are not birth control. But what started all of this is I was listening to the radio the other day, and somebody went off about this new, I think it's Alabama law. I pulled up Roe versus Wade because that's where my mindset went with this. Alabama. There we go. Okay. Yeah, and today I signed the law, the Alabama Human Life Act, the bills. Yeah, and basically it's almost a total ban abortion. And I keep hearing things like this that if a woman miscarries now, she can go to jail in one state. I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? Who's making these laws? I guarantee you it's not women. Even women that are pro-life, they may be totally against abortion. I have one friend that is, and I love her to death. I'm not going to get into names, but that is one subject we will never, ever, ever agree on. But at the same point in time, I can honestly look at her views and respect them, and I believe she can look at my views and respect them. So I guarantee you, a law like this is not being passed by women. It's insane to think so. But anyways, my whole point with this was all these state abortion laws are moot. We have, our system is set up for a reason. It goes state law, federal law. But Junior, get down. Oh. So guess what? Roe versus Wade will trump any state law. Because that was done through the Supreme Court. That's federal law. It's the same thing when I hear people pop off about, I gotta pause. I will be back. Alright, and I'm back. Sorry, I had somebody coming in my door, so. Anyways, when I hear somebody pop off about, the marijuana laws being legal in my state, I lived in Colorado when it passed. I live here in Michigan now that it's passed. And when I hear somebody pop off about it, my first thought is, you know what, idiot, it is still illegal at the federal level. State law does not supersede federal law. So, yeah, I guess the whole point with the campaign and how this all ties into, since you guys are wondering why I'm continuing to ramble on about anything, is the simple fact, where I stand on abortion is there needs to be laws to protect people who are just using it, or to protect the children from mothers who are just using it as birth control. Again, that's not its purpose. Using it as birth control does damage to the mother, both physically, emotionally, mentally, it does. That's why I don't believe in late-term abortions. If you were raped, it's a case of incest, you're going to have that decision made right off the bat. I guarantee it, because you are familiar with your own mental state. Like I said, I knew. As soon as they told me I was pregnant, I knew abortion was off the table. I knew, in my case, adoption was off the table, because that's not the type of person I am. But I did look into it. I knew right off the bat, even with my daughter. I was 18, all by myself. I knew, and even with her being born with, her genetic condition, I think she was like 3 months, and I did, for a half a second, I considered adoption, because I was just so overwhelmed with everything that it took to take care of her. But it was just a passing thought. So, I think, at least for me, I knew as a woman right away, what that decision was. I know some women, they do, some women, they don't. They need to take time. But again, I'd like to see bans on late-term abortions, anything like that. But other than that, no. It's a woman's right to do with her body. But more so, it's imperative for her mental health, for her health overall, to be aware of what's going on with her body and be able to make those choices. To say that she can't have an abortion, if this child, what happens if you walk in to a doctor's office and they say, okay, perfect example, you have a 16-year-old girl who was raped, and because of her age and her development, she can't carry the baby to term. It's going to kill her if she does. So you're saying now that this girl has been raped, is now carrying her rapist baby, and the baby's going to kill her, but yet she has to give birth to this child. It's a ridiculous concept. It really is. That is a case, especially in something like that, yes, an abortion is needed. I understand we have the day after pill for that purpose, and sometimes it works, sometimes not. I mean, I had a toenail permanently removed. Guess what? The bastard is still there, so permanent fixes don't always work. Those plan Bs don't always work. But it's just... And again, I think I'm puzzled more of why is this still an issue to this day and age. I know pro-lifers are out there, children first, children first, children first, and I agree. The children that are here, we need to put first. The children that aren't here, it's great to think of the concept with them, because, again, that's what I'm trying to do with this whole family first, is it's not just thinking about your children that are here. It's going to be thinking about your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren and what we're leaving for them. So I understand fighting for the right for them to be here, but if it's not your body, why is it your concern? Am I making any kind of sense here? I don't know. That's enough of a rant for today. I'm sure I will be fielding questions from this video, at least I hope so. This might lead me into some more controversial topics if this one goes well. And again, thank you guys for your support. Keep following me, keep sharing me. We're going to get there. Thanks. Bye.